I uploaded all 816 pages of the Big Beautiful Bill Act into ChatGPT, and I said, what are your thoughts on this bill altogether? Really give it to me, don't hold anything back. And here's what ChatGPT told me. This bill, H.R. 1, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, is not just aggressive in scope, it's a direct and deeply strategic attack on the democratic architecture of the United States. It masquerades as administrative efficiency and fiscal responsibility, but underneath it's a comprehensive blueprint for executive consolidation, ideological control, and systemic disenfranchisement.
Yikes.
Here's the blunt truth. It's authoritarianism wrapped in bureaucratic language. H.R. 1 is what happens when an entire governing philosophy is based on dismantling government unless it serves the powerful. Every single chapter of this bill either centralizes executive authority, defunds regulatory agencies, strips away civil protections, or shifts the burden of governance onto the most vulnerable people in society.
Yikes.
Expedited deportations without judicial review, that's not about efficiency. That's about eliminating constitutional oversight to build a machine that can operate in darkness.
Absolutely. That is about creating a mechanism for removal of undesirables. Right? I mean, when you think about it, the attacks on due process, like once they wear that down to where due process is something people don't fight for anymore, now any undesirable, no matter what shade you are, whether it's a sexuality, a gender, a political thought, you just are like removed. It's like removal.
Cutting independent agencies like MedPAC or the Social Security Advisory Board, that's not reform. It's removing the brakes from a runaway train. Silencing classrooms and ending DEI funding, it's a cultural purge designed to codify a narrow, exclusionary worldview into national education policy. This isn't conservative governance, it's counter-democratic engineering. It systemically dismantles the safeguards of a free society. The institutions targeted by H.R. 1 aren't arbitrary. They're specifically the ones that ensure transparency, protect minorities, and maintain balance. Consumer protections, gone. IRS ability to audit tax sheets, neutered. Public health investments, slashed. Environmental and emission standards, repealed wholesale. This bill defunds every agency that stands between corporate interests and profit. It creates loopholes wide enough to drive oligarchy through. It paves the road for a soft coup. What's most dangerous is how legally sophisticated this document is. It's not sloppy. It's not amateur. It's meticulous. It builds the legal scaffolding for one-party control. It shifts power away from oversight bodies and into the hands of agencies under direct presidential control. It establishes surveillance and enforcement norms that can easily be turned on dissenters. It dissolves the idea of nonpartisan truth, replacing it with politically approved doctrine, especially in education, health, and environmental science. This isn't policy. It's a hostile restructuring of the republic, not done through tanks or violence, but through legislative subversion. The human cost will be catastrophic. Let's be crystal clear. People will suffer if this bill passes. Children will go hungry as food assistance is gutted and work requirements are tightened. Trans youth will lose access to care and their families will be criminalized for seeking it.
Dude, yeah, that's a big... That's the part that is super problematic in the Trump land is it's not that they just want to remove access to care or to hormones or to treatment or to therapy, but they want to criminalize people who seek it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And it reminds me of their abortion bans, where it's not enough for Alabama to ban abortion in the state. They want to criminalize you leaving Alabama to seek an abortion. Okay? Because it is not about just, removing the thing from their state. It is about exercising control over the behavior of the people in that state and removing your access to that type of care entirely. They want to criminalize you going somewhere and, right, it would be like a state that bans gambling, arresting you when you get off the plane from Vegas and putting you in prison because you went to a casino in Vegas. And that shit is fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Immigrants, many of them legal residents, will live in fear of removal or retaliation. Workers will face unregulated financial scams, higher pollution, and fewer rights. The elderly and disabled will face a future without independent scrutiny of Medicare or Social Security sustainability. This bill treats social safety nets as disposable and human rights as negotiable. Final verdict: this is the dress rehearsal for autocracy. If this bill becomes law, it will not just change what the government does, it will change what the government is. It is a declaration that only certain people deserve protection, only certain truths can be spoken, and only certain lives are worth investment. This is the type of legislation autocrats dream of. Legal, sweeping, ideologically rigid, and dressed in the language of reform. If you believe in democracy, pluralism, justice, or simply the idea that the government should not be a weapon, H.R. 1 must be buried, not amended, not negotiated, defeated, fully.
Dude, Jesus didn't mince any words there, right? ChatGPT really went to town with that. Now, what's interesting about it is just hearing some of the points that they covered. Like, we know that there is like huge anti-trans stuff buried in that bill. We also know that they had that AI, right? There was the AI amendment to the bill, which wanted to say in that bill, in the BBB, it said that no state or local municipality in the entire country could pass a bill regulating AI for 10 years. Is a 10-year moratorium on passing any legislation to regulate AI. So ostensibly, they passed that bill, and only the executive branch and the federal government and the agencies in the federal government would be the only people that could regulate AI. No state could do any regulating of AI, which is insane. Okay? It is insane. There's nothing like that. There's no precedent like that anywhere, okay, where no state is allowed to pass a law governing like protections in their fucking state. It's fucking crazy. But so that was huge. They're definitely trying to neuter the IRS, which will make tax cheating amongst the wealthy go outrageous. Now, one of the craziest things was also put in there was about like 10,000 new immigration people, right? Like 10,000. That's insane. 10,000 new ICE people, which of course, you know, are going to be like Proud Boys, J6ers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know the kind of people they're going to hire, right? This huge militarized force. Like, that shit is fucked up, bro. I know that there's a segment of MAGA that are like, you know, they voted for authoritarianism. But here's the deal. If you voted for this kind of authoritarianism, you need to get the hell out of America, okay? I don't care if you're a MAGA fucking flag-wearing, whatever, Christian fucking piece of shit. I don't care if you live in Texas or whatever. If you think authoritarianism and having like masked fucking law enforcement invaders go door to door is what you voted for, you need to get the fuck out of this country, okay? Because we're not doing that shit here, okay? We're not doing that shit here. And fuck you if you think we are. You are sorely misguided, all right? And you know, we're going to fucking pack you guys up and fucking ship you off to fucking Timbuktu. I'm serious. That shit is anti-American, bro. Dude, in America, we don't do that. We don't have door-to-door fucking police forces invading and shit. Now, you know what's ironic, though, is the same clowns that are advocating for the masked police force that goes door-to-door, these are the same fucking people that, like, getting a vaccine during a worldwide pandemic, these people were acting like they were oppressed, like they had been enslaved when they had to wear a fucking mask and get a vaccine during a worldwide health crisis. right? But then they also simultaneously want a fucking, Gestapo authoritarianism. It's like, what a bunch of fucking clowns, bro. Get some fucking therapy, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're bloodthirsty and you need to see like a secret police force wreaking havoc, get some fucking therapy or get out of my country. Because you ain't American. You're not. You're not American. That's not American. America was founded with the fucking Boston Tea Party, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We were like, fuck you to the King of England, okay? And we're not having a fucking another king here. And we're not having a fucking KGB running around door to door. Like, dude, fuck you. I'm a woke liberal. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.